Hello everyone, it's Mark Shalero, the owner of MS Classic Cars, and today I'm doing a 2022 recap, and I'm also doing a 2023 preview. This is a completely non-rehearsed video, so bear with me as I kind of look at my notes and then relay the information back to you. So the first thing I'd like to say regarding 2022 is wow. W-O-W with an exclamation point. That's what comes to mind. So I'm going to first start off by saying that MS Classic Cars sold a total of $6,559,718.37 worth of inventory in 2022. It's a really impressive number for us. As I say in the videos all the time, we are not a high volume dealer. We're just a very small company, but we are doing really big things. So let's kind of review our social media platforms and our follower count. As of now, we have 38,945 followers on Facebook. We're really impressed with that number. We appreciate all the people on Facebook that read our posts, like them, share them, etc. As of now, we have 35,109 followers on Instagram. Again, very proud of that. We appreciate everybody who supports us and follows us and shares and everything else. We are recently on TikTok. As of now, we have 5,900 followers. I'd like to thank everybody on TikTok as well. And as of now, we have 5,090 subscribers on YouTube. Again, that account has been building over time. We do not promote our social media accounts with influencers. We don't boost our posts or anything like that. It's strictly organic, and I think we're growing at a pretty good rate considering that, again, we are a smaller dealership. We are not a high volume dealer. So we normally at MS Classic Cars sell roughly about 75 cars per year. So if you do the math, obviously it's less than 10 cars per month. In 2022, we sold 60 cars. We had one of our best years ever, but you're wondering, well, why did you sell 15 cars less? We did that because we wanted to get through the more extensive jobs that we had in our inventory. So MS Classic Cars always keeps around 50, sometimes it gets as high as 60, 75 cars in our whole inventory collectively. What was happening over time, as it would happen with any business, that when we would buy cars, high quality cars, always number one, always number two condition, we would get the cars and we would kind of cherry pick. And the ones that we wanted to make changes to in the service department, cosmetically, mechanically, those cars we would kind of just leave in the warehouse with covers over them. And then again, we would select the cars that were a little bit easier. Well, over time, maybe 2-3 years time, you start to build an inventory of vehicles that need more attention to make frontline ready, so to speak, and those cars compile. So I made it a pact with me, my team, and everybody else that I would buy less inventory in 2023. We would focus more on the inventory that we had, knowing that the inventory count would come down. We would still be able to have a great year, which we did. So I'm going to go over with you the vehicles that I'm proud to say that we completed that did need more work. And understand, these are not cars that needed restoration. These are not cars that were garbage cars. I don't deal with restorations. We don't deal with garbage cars. These were cars that we picked that were in beautiful condition that we decided we wanted to take to the next level. So the first car that I will mention is a 1957 Chevrolet Bel Air. It was a turquoise car, beautiful car. The guy who actually bought that car is super happy. The next car is a 1961 Chevrolet Impala that was red. We had a 1962 Jaguar E-Type. Some people refer to it as an XKE. That was a fixed head coupe that was white. 67 Chevelle. This was a car that I was really proud of. It was named the Sickness. That was a car that we actually pulled the body off the chassis, had an Art Morrison frame, absolutely spectacular. It was black. It was sold to a guy who's actually become a friend of mine, super nice client. We have a long-term now relationship where we'll be doing more business. as with most of our customers at MS Classic Cars. We also sold a 68 Chevrolet Camaro that was green. I nicknamed that the Hulk. That also went to a previous customer of mine. We've done business in the past. He bought this car. It really went to a great home. I also did a 1970 Ford Mustang Mach 1 that was green, more of a factory correct restoration. That car was also sold to a previous customer of mine who's bought 6, 7, 8 cars. It's in a really good home right now. He really loves it. And to put the icing on the cake, we sold a 1971 Triumph TR6 that was yellow. That was a really cool little car. We actually sold that at the New England Auto Auction at Owl's Head in August of 2022. Now, during that time frame that we were working on those cars, we were also going through some of the cars that we still have in our inventory, but we are much further ahead on these particular cars. So we're really, really close to finishing everything that was kind of in that pile that I wanted to move. So the vehicles that we are working on now in 2023 include the 64 Sunbeam Tiger, a 66 Chevrolet Biscayne, a 66 Ford Mustang Fastback, 66 Plymouth Belvedere, and a 66 Pontiac GTO. I'll kind of go into the details about those cars when I start talking about the 23 preview. But in the meantime, I want to comment on our biggest sale. At MS Classic Cars, we do the Barrett-Jackson auctions. We do Bring a Trailer, which is an online auction. We also do Hemmings, which is an online auction. We've had some really epic moments. You can go back onto our sales accounts. You can go on their websites. You can look at our collections. You can look at our results and so forth. But the one vehicle that really stands out the most was our 1987 Lamborghini Countach 5000 QV that only had 5,000 original miles. That car sold on Bring a Trailer, again, which is an online auction for anybody that doesn't know, for $860,000. It was officially the highest selling car in MS Classic Cars history. We're super proud of that car. It went to a really good home as well. Again, I want to thank that customer and congratulate everybody on that particular deal because it was, again, very special to us. So, moving to 2023. I can say that 2023 has really started off with a bang. We've already sold 14 cars, of which included our Barrett-Jackson Scottsdale 2023 collection. The stars of that collection were the 1970 Chevrolet Chevelle SS LS6. That sold on stage for $400,000. On Barrett-Jackson's website, it shows as $440,000 simply because of the 10% commission that they charge for a buyer's premium. And of course, the car that really put a feather in our cap was the 1966 Shelby Group 2 Mustang that was built for Ken Miles. I'm so proud to have owned that car. That car sold on stage for $700,000, and with the buyer's 10% commission, it was $770,000. So that is really where we've started off our 2023. We're already over the $2 million mark. It's only February 15th, so I'm really expecting that 2023 is going to be an epic year. Now that we've reduced our inventory, as I mentioned earlier, here's a current list of the vehicles that we have coming soon. A lot of people do visit our website, future inventory page. Sometimes they'll email me, they'll call me with questions, etc. I add vehicles, I subtract vehicles. We sell cars privately, so we're constantly moving around that list. But what I would like to do today is I would like to just kind of go over what we have coming to the forefront so you clearly know what to expect over the next few months. This is in year order. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is our 1964 Sunbeam Tiger. This particular vehicle is gray in color. It is custom. You could kind of refer to it as like a little bit of a resto mod Tiger. You don't see those very often. At MS Classic Cars, we've now owned 2 Tigers. We become really friendly with Bill Martin of the Roops Group, who is really the Tiger guru now. He actually was working closely with Norman, who is again, the godfather of Tigers, and you'll have to do more homework on that. But this particular vehicle here is certified It is going to be customized. It's got a beautiful body. It's got a hard top. It's got a custom hood, custom wheels. It has a built 289 engine, probably going to be somewhere around 400 horsepower when we're done with it. And it has a 5-speed manual transmission. This is going to be one sweet tiger. Right now it's in the service department. It's on the lift. We've already finished the undercarriage. Again, body paint. Now we're going to start working on the mechanics soon. Flipping into the next vehicle, we have a 1965 Chevrolet Biscayne. It's burgundy in color. It was kind of a factory correct looking car. It had a engine that represented a 427 and it was a 4-speed. Because we've been doing well with Biscaynes, people might have noticed some of the Biscaynes that have been on our inventory page and that we've sold over the last few years. So when this vehicle came into service, I was so impressed with the body, with the paint, with the interior. It just has a really killer look. When we drove the car, the engine that was in the car didn't really have a lot of power. It shifted nice. And I just thought the car was deserving of something special. So we made the decision to pull the engine out. We sent it to our engine shop. His name is Nat, does an unbelievable job at Nat's Engines. Michael Marcello, who works for me as my service manager and shop foreman, he loves building motors. So I put them both to the task. I said, here's what I want to do. Let's make an engine for this car that we can still dress up as a 427, even though it's a 454. It even has the air, plenum air cleaner and so forth. Let's make something with real power. So we went with like a 500 horsepower engine that we're going to dyno. We'll do a video. And then, of course, we said we can't leave the engine with that kind of power back with a 4-speed transmission. Let's go ahead and put a brand new TKX, which is the new version of the Tremec 5-speed transmission with overdrive. Let's make this thing a real resto mod, but let's keep it nostalgic. We sold a car at Barrett-Jackson a few years ago that was very similar. The car did extremely well. So we are building something that you don't really see very often. We're super excited about that. That vehicle is getting really close to completion. I would probably estimate to have it listed on our website within the next 30 days or so. Moving on to the next car, we have a 1965 Plymouth Barracuda. This car is gold. It also has been customized. This is a vehicle that we actually found locally. It's a really cool car. It's a very unique body style. This vehicle does have a built 340 V8 engine that's coupled to a 904 automatic transmission. Again, it does have some custom features. I would probably say it's one of the best running Mopars that we've ever had. It runs spectacular. It's a blast to drive. It's not going to be one of these 6-figure cars. It's going to be a car that you can get at a reasonable price. So again, I'm really excited about that. I would say that this vehicle is probably within 30 days of also getting listed on our website, so make sure to stay tuned to that. Now, one of the things that I'm reading here on the sheet in front of you today is I'm just basically reading the year, the make, the model, what color the car is, and what engine it has. But if you notice that I'm kind of going over more details than what's on here, and the reason why is because I am the one who buys the inventory for MS Classic cars. I personally search out vehicles. I'm the one that goes over the details with the people when I buy them. I'm the one who, understands what they are. I'm the one who writes the descriptions. And then, of course, we do our videos and everything else. So I'm very familiar with all the cars that we have. And I'm just kind of going off the cuff here as I rattle down this list. So the next vehicle, this is a really cool deal. This is a 1966 Ford Mustang Fastback that is white and it is being customized. So here we go with this car. I bought this car. This was actually a recent purchase. Thought I was buying something that was in a certain level of quality because I had already purchased a vehicle from the same person that was at a very high quality. I was a little bit disappointed with the paint work on the car, so I made the decision to bring the car to our body shop, have it essentially stripped down and completely repainted. So it's a brand new paint job. It's white. Try to envision this car. It's a 66 Fastback in white. It's got the red GT striping on the bottom. It's got a super sexy pair of factory correct style wheels, red line tires that we added to MS Classic cars, beautiful red interior. What we decided to do is also kind of restore the undercarriage of the car, put everything back nice, but most importantly, we actually pulled the motor out of the car because once again, I thought the motor was rebuilt. It wasn't rebuilt. So we took it again to Nat's Engines. We rebuilt it and we dyno tested it yesterday. It's just shy of 400 horsepower. Then I took a transmission that we had, sent it to the guy who does all of our transmissions, George's Automotive Repair, did a great job with it, and now it's got a 5-speed transmission. It has a lot of great options. This is a super special car that we were wrapping up definitely within the next 30 days. You've got to make sure to stay tuned for that one. Mustangs are one of my favorites. Moving on to the next one, we have a 1966 Plymouth Belvedere. This was a real Hemi car. The car is red, it has black interior. It is a car with an original matching numbers motor that was also built by Nat. This was a car that I actually bought locally. It dynoed at like 600 horsepower. So this is a really cool deal. It's backed by an automatic transmission. This is kind of a factory correct car that's got a little bit of customization in it. I would definitely not rank it as a high-end show car, but more as a super nice driver. This is a car that is going to be perfect for somebody that likes that unique body style, that is looking for true power. They want to pound the pavement, so to speak. That's an awesome car. This car we are just about finished with. I probably would say within the next week or two, we'll be wrapping up that car. You'll see that on our website. Again, something to definitely look forward to. Making our way to the next car, we have a 1966 Pontiac GTO. This is a car that's gray in color. This car is very similar to the Chevelle that I had mentioned that we did in 22 with the Art Morrison chassis, the LT4 V8 supercharged engine and so forth. This car is kind of along the same lines. We actually pulled the body off the chassis. We redid the chassis. It's got a really sweet pair of wheels on it. It's got a full-blown custom interior that we took out. We redid it. This is a car that we went over, above, and beyond on. We actually also stripped this car. We completely painted it. It is absolutely gorgeous. This is going to be one of those higher dollar cars. I'm really looking forward to it. It's going to be a sweet car. 66 GTOs are gorgeous, and this is one of the coolest ones that I've ever seen. I probably would say that car is within the next couple of months, but that is one of the ones that we are wrapping up. Moving on to the next car, we have a 1967 Chevrolet Camaro that is custom. Matter of fact, I drove this car today. It's silver in color. It has one of the most beautiful bodies and paint jobs I've ever seen. I would say it's at a very, very high level of restoration. Mike and I today, when we drove the car around Seekonk, he thought it was one of the best driving and running cars that we've ever had. Definitely one of the fastest. It has an LS3 that is supercharged. We are going to dyno test it, but we're estimating the horsepower around 700 horse. It's got a 6-speed transmission. It's been tubbed. It's been autocrossed. It's got all the right gear. It even has air conditioning. This is one of my favorite cars right now in my inventory that I am super excited about going live with. This car really didn't need much of anything, but we're going to do some work to the exhaust system, so I don't anticipate it being more than a few weeks before it hits our website. You absolutely need to stay tuned for that. The next one is a 1967 Ford Mustang Fastback. This is a custom car. This was a car that we've had for a few years, and what we did is we ordered the Eleanor body kit for this car, and one of the guys that works for me, Joe Fournier, did a really nice job doing the Eleanor body kit. Joe has bodywork experience and stuff, so he spent a lot of time on and off this car, and we got it to a point where we're ready for the final bodywork stages and for paint. And as time kind of moved forward, and we started building relationships with different shops, I got in contact with John from Goolsby Custom. We decided to let them take this car to the highest level. We owned a car that they built. If you want to see it on our website, it was a beautiful 1967 Camaro that was a butternut yellow. We actually sold that car on Bring a Trailer, and I was so impressed with that car. I thought it would be a great idea to have them finish this car. So we are not going to do an Eleanor. We're going to do our own version of an Eleanor, maybe call it something else. We do have a really cool rendering of this car, but the coolest part of all, which you never see on 67 Mustangs, is we ordered, which was actually just delivered, a brand new Roadster Shop chassis. It's going to be a full chassis car. It's going to have all the high-end suspension, the brakes, the wheels, the paint, the body. It's going to be a supercar Coyote engine. It's going to have a 5-speed transmission, et cetera, et cetera. That is a car that we're kind of hoping in a perfect world that we can get it done and reveal it at SEMA. And then from SEMA, we might consider even taking it to the Barrett-Jackson auction in Scottsdale for 24. But again, that's all ideas that haven't really come to fruition yet. Right now, we're just focused on getting the car down there and letting John and his team start the restoration process. Now, the next car, we have a 68 Buick GS 400 convertible. This car is officially one of the oldest cars in my inventory. We've just kept it under a cover for a long time. I think it's been a year and a half, maybe 2 years. It's a red car. Again, it has a 400 V8. It's an automatic. It's a really nice driver. This, again, is not a six-figure, super expensive car. This is going to be perfect for somebody that wants a really, really sweet car that they can take out with their family, put the top down, take to car shows, enjoy. This car we are done with. So that is probably going to be the next car that we're going to put on the website. So stay tuned for this Buick. It's definitely worth taking a peek at. Moving on here, we have a 68 Chevrolet Camaro Z28 that's green with white stripes and black interior. Matter of fact, it's right to my left side here in the showroom. This particular car, of course, was certified by Jerry McNeish in 2022. Again, it's got its original matching numbers engine, original matching numbers transmission, and rear end. And again, it's a CROSSRAM car, so it has a CROSSRAM that looks absolutely beautiful. We've got a lot of people that are interested in this car. For anybody who's been following MS Classic Cars, you know that I really specialize in first-generation Camaros. We know how to pick them. This car is a special one. It even has its original interior, a lot of the original undercarriage, and so forth. Moving on to the next car. This is a 1969 Chevrolet Camaro Z28. It's Hugger orange in color with white stripes and a black interior. This is a car that I recently purchased. Again, it was certified by Camaro expert Jerry McNeish from Camaro High Performance. I'd like to give him a shout out. He's a friend. Norman Meads as well, who's been working with Jerry for a long time. Norman, Jerry just came here recently and certified 3 vehicles for us. So I want to make sure to give them a shout out. This particular car also has its original engine. It has its original transmission. It does have a protector plate. Again, a very special car that I'm super proud of. It even has a few awards that are going to be included. You won't want to miss that car. It's really special. And 69 Camaros right now are red hot. Moving on to the next car, we have a 1970 Oldsmobile 442. This car is red. It's got white stripes. It also has a white and black interior. When I tell you it's one of the best examples in the world, I am very serious. This car was restored by Thorntons. Thorntons are friends of ours. They're out of Pennsylvania. They do some of the best work on Oldsmobile 442s on the planet. They're experts in the field. This is a beautiful, beautiful car. It's an original matching numbers car, engine, which is a 455 V8, automatic transmission. It's got some really unique gauges. It's got a spoiler. It is stunning. So make sure to stay tuned for that car. I would probably estimate that car to be on our website again within the next 30 days. Also, sitting in the showroom to the left of me, we have a 1972 Dodge Charger 440. This is a car that I've also had for a while under a cover in the warehouse. It's a gold exterior. If you go on our social media, Corey that works for me actually did a really nice quick little video of this car. You got to check it out. I think it's on Facebook and Instagram as well. It is beautiful. It's an original gold car with black interior. It has its original 440 V8 engine, automatic transmission. The guy actually found that car at like a swap meet car corral kind of deal. I still have the original for sale sign with the information before he bought it, and then he spent well over $100,000 restoring it. We have like this many receipts, And that's a car that's going to be going into our service department soon. And that will probably be on our website within, again, the next 30 to 45 days. That's going to be a really sweet car. That even has air conditioning too. Factory AC car. We also have a 1974 Ford Bronco that is custom. It's blue in color. It's got really cool white racing stripes. I've never seen a Bronco with racing stripes before, so it's kind of got that Shelby theme going on. It is hands down one of the best Broncos that I've ever seen. Super straight body work. It's got these really cool custom wheels, a full custom interior, and I'm not talking about your average custom Bronco interior. I'm talking about an interior where somebody went out and said, I'll give you a check for $30,000 and I want you to fabricate an interior. It even seats 3 people in the front. It is really radical. The engine in it is a 347 V8. It's like a 400 horsepower engine, automatic transmission. I just drove it yesterday. We actually just acquired this really recently. So it's going through our service department as we speak. That is a super cool Bronco. We've only had a few Broncos. Go on our sold page. You can see that every vehicle on our sold page is actually listed in year order, and just scroll down, you can see the few Broncos that we've had. This is definitely at the top as far as the quality. It is beautiful. I'm really looking forward to it. And to wrap up this list here, we have a 98 Ford Mustang Cobra, which is to the left of me in the showroom. This is a car that I bought from a gentleman who bought it when it was basically new. I bought a 2000, I think it was 17 Shelby GT350 that only had like 50 miles on it. It was white with, I think, blue stripes or black stripes. And I sold it to a customer in Massachusetts, great guy who enjoyed the car. And this particular car was actually sitting in the garage of the guy I bought it from. And I fell in love with the car. It only had 9,500 original miles. It's a gorgeous color. It's kind of like a candy apple red with a tan interior. And I asked him if it was for sale at the time when I was buying his Shelby. He said, Mark, I'm not interested in selling it. I stayed in touch with him. I think it was maybe a year later. I finally was able to buy the car from him. I kind of stalked him for this car. So it's, again, sitting proud in our showroom. It's got these really sweet chrome wheels. It's just a car that I'm really proud of. And that should be coming up on our website probably within the next 30 to 45 days. Now, before we end this video, I figure what I would do is give you kind of a sneak peek at some vehicles that are not on our future inventory page. These are all vehicles that I've recently acquired that I will be adding to the future inventory page as I go through the process of stocking them in and so forth. So this is kind of a first time here. The first vehicle I'd like to mention, we have a 1965 Chevrolet C10 pickup truck that I would classify as one of the best in the world. This truck is absolutely off the charts. This is a truck that the owner that I'm getting the truck from has probably $350,000 in. It was built by a local restoration shop that does amazing work. It sits on a Roadster shop chassis. The body work and the paint is phenomenal. It has an LS3 that's Whipple charged, 926 horsepower. It's got a 4L80E transmission. This truck is honestly one of the best vehicles that we'll probably ever have on the MS Classic Cars website. It's coming here next week. We're going to jump right on it. It's been fully serviced and detailed. It's going to be absolutely stunning. You've got to check out this truck. We also have a 1968 Chevrolet Camaro SS L78. For anybody that doesn't know what an L78 is, that is the 396, 375 horse V8 engine. They made only a handful of these cars, very rare. This one is certified by Camaro expert Jerry McNeish. It's one of only a few to ever achieve the Legend certificate at the Camaro Nationals, which is a huge deal. Again, I'm super excited. I've only owned one 68 L78 in my lifetime. It was Ken Lucas's car, who's really good friends with Jerry McNeish. Ken Lucas also did the restoration on this car. This is one, if you're a collector, you're an investor, you want a rare car, this is one to take a peek at. Again, coming up soon on our website. So the video just stopped for 1 second just because the time was up. So we're kind of restarting again here with a 1969 Chevrolet Camaro Z28 that is yellow in color. They call it Daytona yellow, black stripes, black interior. This particular car was a few-year restoration that was just completed. This is a car that I had Jerry look at for me. We will be certifying it. It does have a rare broadcast sheet, original engine, original transmission, original rear end, a very, very special car. I would say at a very, very high level of quality, never been advertised for sale, first time, something I'm super excited about. Again, yellow, black stripes, black interior, awesome. The next car to discuss here is a 1969 Chevrolet Camaro Z28 Rally Sport RS. This particular car here is white in color with black racing stripes, black vinyl top, and a black interior. This car was also certified by Camaro expert Jerry McNeish. This car does have its original born with engine, transmission, and rear end. This car also has a CROSSRAM. Again, the CROSSRAM is the dual carburetors. It is a killer look with these cars, just like the 68 green one that I mentioned earlier. This car, from what I've gathered, what I've seen, and what I've understood, this is one of the best examples in the world. It even has an Endura bumper. This is a car that is so clean and so beautiful. It's never even had gas put in it since it was restored, and it was restored by one of the best guys in the business. Definitely one of the best 69 Camaros in the country. I'm really looking forward to it. Moving on to the next car. We have a 1969 Chevrolet Camaro ZL1 replica. This car is yellow with black interior. It is a very special car. Now, what makes it so special? Two things. Besides the quality, which you know at MS Classic Cars, you're always going to get quality, but most importantly, it was restored by Camaro expert Larry Christensen. Larry Christensen is a Camaro's Nationals judge for Legends. Everybody who's in the Camaro community knows his name. He's very well respected. He owned, from what I've gathered about 20 years ago, he owned a real 69 ZL1 that was yellow that he sold. Like, this is a very big dollar car, and he wanted to make an exact replica of that car. So this particular car, he went all out on the restoration, spectacular quality, and you're probably wondering, which I'm going to tell you now, what does it have under the hood? It has a real 1969 ZL1 engine in it. Okay, they are very valuable. Matter of fact, Larry had another ZL1 engine that he sold at Mecum. I think he said it sold for almost $50,000 just for the engine. So if you want a ZL1, or you love ZL1s but don't want to pay $700, $800, $1 million, whatever it might be, this is the one to consider. This is a spectacular car. My game plan is to have Larry Christensen fly in to do a full presentation on this car with me. We'll do a cool interview. Again, that's what the plan is. I've spoken to him. He sounded very interested. And last but not least, on the subject of Larry Christensen, he just finished a beautiful 1969 casted 427 engine, 425 horsepower that he completely rebuilt. Once in a while at MS Classic Cars, we do have engines that are for sale. This is probably going to be one of those situations, or I'm going to put this engine in one of the cars that we have down the road. But this would be a perfect deal for anything that's that generation, even a Yanko Tribute or something like that. So that's pretty much everything that we have going on for 2023 at MS Classic Cars. Again, I am still in the process of buying cars, selling cars. We're constantly changing inventory. Some of these cars that I mentioned to you, we might pre-sell, we might commit to this or commit to that. So if you have any interest in any of these cars that I mentioned today, please give me a call. At MS Classic Cars, I will answer the emails, I will answer the calls, I'll guide you to what I think is the right decision. Again, I only collect number 1 and number 2 condition vehicles. We've been doing that since inception. We are proud to say that we're the only classic car dealer in the country who services everything that we sell. We document that work with an invoice. Okay, I have 5 full-time employees at the service department, which is a 4,000 plus square foot facility, that are doing all the service work on these cars to make them as good as we can, so when you get them, you're not making a checklist of all the things that are wrong. The detailers also spend countless hours on these cars, from the undercarriages to the top, making them as clean as possible. I will personally handle all of your paperwork. I'll go to FedEx and FedEx your envelope for you with all your stuff. I will even help set up the enclosed shipping. So when the car goes in the trailer, I even take a plastic cover. Corey helps. We do it all the time. We cover the car in plastic. So once again, when it arrives at your doorstep, there's no checklist of all the things that are wrong. There's no detailing. You grab the keys, you turn the ignition on, fire it up, and you drive it away. That's the MS Classic Cars experience. We appreciate you watching this video. Hopefully it wasn't too boring for you. But again, please, if you have not signed up for our VIP email blast, it is the best way to follow us. We have thousands of people on there. And as I mentioned earlier, we have a lot of followers on social media. Please make sure to follow us, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and so forth. We really appreciate it. And as always, rock and roll.